I want to encourage you to be an advocate for your own health. Where relief to my symptoms, it was not a solution. And many times I was dismissed and brushed off by my doctors as if there's just nothing they can do because Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm Nerda Miller, and in today's video I'm going to be speaking about some top symptoms that were dismissed by my doctors for 8+ years. In this video I'm going to be sharing my personal story and discovery along my journey as a woman receiving a menstrual cycle and along my journey trying to conceive. For 8 years my doctors told me that there was nothing wrong with me, that I just had unexplained fertility. Just drink a pill, you'll be fine. For 8 years, I feel I was robbed from getting the proper treatment as early as possible to aid my situation, to aid my overall health, and to aid my journey with trying to conceive. Unfortunately, for 8+ years, I consistently went to the doctor. I received pap smears, I did numerous labs as in blood work, and I received regular ultrasound and vaginal ultrasounds as well. The reason why I decided to click record on today's video, while I overthought it and recorded this literally like 7 times, is because I believe that my video can help another girl or another woman. I want to bring hope, I want to spread awareness, and I want to encourage you to be an advocate for your own health. Many times we stick to the same doctor or to the same branch or practice for numerous amount of years. And we tend to cling to the same person over a period of time. And many times this can fog how we see and perceive a situation, perceive the information given to us. Unfortunately, I went through this. Now, for 8 years, I've been trying to conceive. I started to try to conceive in my early 20s, so I didn't have a lot of information. My mom did teach me things, and I did have the good source of Google and social media to share some information, but I didn't know too much, especially when I was being made feel like, especially when I was being treated in a way that made me feel like I was a problem, or made me feel as if I'm just overly sensitive or crazy. Over the period of 8 years, I changed doctors numerous times. But the first time I changed my doctor was when I had my mom and husband go to one of my appointments with me on 2 separate occasions. And they both were like, "What are you doing? You should see someone else and receive a different opinion." And this really stirred up right before I got pregnant in 2021, where I received horrible treatment by one of my doctors. He was very dismissive. His comments were unnecessary. He made me feel hopeless, and I literally left that office down and crying, but like with this just fire inside of me, like, no, like, I'm gonna get help. This can't be it for me. And well, unfortunately, I had several symptoms that were dismissed. I finally changed my doctors 2 more times, and it wasn't until the 3rd time was the charm. But before I could get into all that and share my testimony and my grand health discovery with you all and how we can get pregnant is, yes, it's still possible, natural, but we can't get there yet. What were these symptoms? In today's video, if you can relate to any of this, I want to encourage you to take charge of your health. Don't be too quick to just take any opinion. Make sure that you receive the adequate attention to your medical situation. Another reason why I mention this is because unfortunately there is a huge medical disparity within our medical system in how we treat, diagnose, and care for men and women. So for many years, the first main symptom that was unfortunately dismissed by my doctors, male and female doctors, were intense, lengthy cycles. See, the average menstrual cycle lasts from 3 to 5 days, and mines were lasting 9 to 10 days. On average, a woman can have a healthy 7-day cycle and be fine. But the actual menstrual cycle, the way it's been explained to me various times and with the resources that I read online, is a good 3 to 5 days. I'm like, I wish my cycle was 3 to 5 days. Mine's is lasting 9 to 10 days, and it's affecting my life. And you may think, well, women get their period, right? So for years I lived like this. Well, that's just how mine is. I didn't see it as a red flag or alarming at the time because I just thought that's just how long I bleed, until I finally changed doctors for the third time. And those two doctors that helped me, which one was my surgeon, it was a male doctor and a female doctor. And I finally feel like someone heard me and finally was like treated correctly. And my doctor looked at me. One of them was like, let me see your record. We're gonna help you. I hear you. I went through this. And my other doctor, which was my surgeon, and we'll get to that in the next vlog, he was like, this isn't normal. It's okay. This isn't normal. And when something looks like this, we need to do something about it. I'm like, finally, somebody. I'm like, it had to be something. But that's not all. For years, this was dismissed, and unfortunately, it was affecting how I lived. It was affecting, my mental and emotional standpoint, because it was more than just being that length. It was what came with it. Maybe I could withhold a 10-day menstrual cycle, but it was the other leading symptoms that were affecting how I lived. And that following symptom was dysmenorrhea, which was excess, intense menstrual pain. Now, this menstrual pain was a type of menstrual pain that couldn't even be brushed off or relieved with a strong ibuprofen. So here's the female body, right? This is the anatomy of a woman. And the woman receives menstrual cramps in her lower abdomen every month. But many times, the pain can be so intense that it radiates to the lower back because it matches the same area, right? Many times it's the nerves, and many times it's that the organ is also more towards the back. So that would cause me intense lower back pain. So yeah, guys, like 90% of this time, this lower back pain that my cramps were causing me were debilitating. Why? Because I couldn't stand up straight. I was literally standing but like bending like halfway, like my back clenched over. Many times I was curled in the floor. I felt like this contracting inside of me, and I could not stand up straight. If not, I felt like I could cry of this pain. It was just so intense. It sounds dramatic, but trust me when I tell you, it was debilitating. I couldn't walk. And then the following thing with that was I couldn't stand up straight. Then it was the cold and hot sweats that accompanied it. So imagine you have this abdominal cramps. It's radiating to your lower back. You can't stand up straight. Now you're sweating hot and cold as if you have a fever, but you don't. And on top of that, the following symptom I had was the radiating pain to my thighs, but I also had nausea. Okay, it was like I had pregnancy symptoms, but I wasn't pregnant. I had a lot of nausea and anxiety that came around my cycle because of the sense of torture that I experienced every month. And even saying this, I'm like, it sounds intense, but it's just the reality of it. And then last but not least, it was the chills and my low energy. I did find out that I was anemic, and that contributed, but I was under prescribed anemic medication that I had that control down pack. But how can I solve everything else where an ibuprofen, just pop a pill, wasn't working? Tea, the heat pad to my lower back. Sometimes I was going to the shower to just desperately get hot scalding water on me because that would soothe me. And while these solutions were relief to my symptoms, it was not a solution. And many times I was dismissed and brushed off by my doctors as if there's just nothing they can do because nothing was showing on any of my labs, test results, ultrasounds, blood work, whatever you want to call it. Nothing was showing. I was as unexplained infertility. I was fine. There was nothing wrong with me. I just had to cope. And unfortunately, certain things in life don't get resolved with just coping and pushing through. Many times what your body is screaming at you is a red flag and an alarm to what's truly going on inside. So stay tuned to my next video. I'm gonna share with you what was causing my pain, how this affected not only my menstrual cycle, but my health, my body, and my chances of being able to conceive. And this was also potentially a factor in my miscarriages back in 2021, and God knows what other times I also miscarried. And guys, without further ado, I also want to say that because of this, I recommend that you advocate. If you have to switch doctors, you do that. If you need a second and third opinion, do that. Make sure you get the adequate blood work and the test done to figure out what's causing your very unusual and alarming symptoms, because it may not be something, but it may be something, and that something needs to be resolved. I wish you all the best, health, blessings. Stay tuned to the next video, guys. I'm gonna get more into details on what happened to me, how we came to the conclusion of surgery, and what was discovered. And now I continue on my journey of trying to become a mother. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I truly hope that it serves as a resource for hope, encouragement, and also to spread awareness. Make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned to my next video. I'm going to be sharing my surgery vlog and how I experienced God in a time of uncertainty, and you can too. So I encourage you today to open your Bible, try to get to know the Lord a little bit more. He is our healer, He is our helper, and He's brought the Holy Spirit to give us guidance. And I'm so grateful to God in my life, because He's really been an instrumental part of me keeping my peace and hope in the midst of this process of having so many excruciating pain every month for more than 8 years, and my trying to conceive journey. Because of the Lord, I'm able to stay sane, and it brings such a positive outlook to my life, but also solution and healing and hope. So I hope the best for you. Take care, and until next time.